Good morning. Ooh, it's early, huh? Now, this cracks me up because, first of all, if you're watching this as a recording, it's any time you want it to be. But at the moment, it is June 17th. Yeah, June 17th, 7 a.m. where I am, Eastern Time, Pennsylvania. Good morning, Abbott Elementary. I know you're on the East Coast along with me, but so you're up early. And La Vita Misma and DS, nice to see you. Here's the funny thing I'll share with y'all is I am self-employed. So I always joke that I am the best boss and I'm the worst boss, and I'm the best employee and I'm the worst employee because, well, I'm every woman. And I'm the one who chose to show up at 7 o'clock in the morning today. But the cool thing is I see a bunch of you are kind of joining in, so nice to see you. And the reason that I decided to do a TikTok live this morning, and especially kind of early on a Monday, is because Monday tends to be a day where the vibe is different from the weekends. German Maid 95, I see you. Maggie and Nicole and Janet and Erica and Jenny and all sorts of other people. Excuse me, I feel like I'm going to sneeze, so if I do that, do not be surprised. And but the reason I'm showing up so early today is because I know that different people have different rhythms and cycles. I am an early bird. Even today, I was like, oh man, why did I do 7 a.m.? Because I thought you might be up at this time. Because you might be getting ready for the day. And what better time to start, I don't know, thinking about the good stuff you can do to change your life and your clutter, starting at the beginning of the day before everything else gets in the way of your head and your heart. The other thing is, frankly, that I in like complete transparency, I had some time set aside for consultations today, and one of them was 8 a.m. Now, I don't have an 8 a.m. Consultation happening, so I don't have to be like urgently getting off of this in time to do that and then go right into coaching. But I figured it would be nicer to a potential future client to say, could you meet at 8 a.m. versus could you meet at 7 a.m.? So that's why we're here this morning. So good morning, everybody. If we haven't met, my name is Beth. Destination Decluttered is my TikTok page. And I'm a decluttering life coach, and I love to help you with your clutter. I can tell that I'm still waking up now because my voice is low and I'm talking kind of slow, but I've got my cup of tea. We were talking about mugs last week. I bet you have mugs. Maybe mugs are part of your clutter. And yesterday, I actually wore my robe. We went through all what you could clo about these things. Hey, Pinky Silver Chloe, nice to see you. And somebody yesterday talked about the pattern on this being very Yellow Submarine. It does have that kind of, 66 to 69 paisley kind of thing going on. And I said, oh, how funny is that? Because I have a Beatles mug and it says all you need is love on it. I should have been wearing it yesterday. Today I'm kind of like that. But good morning. Good morning. How can I help you get started putting on the good foot? What can you do right now to help you start this day and this week even? Driving in a direction. I'm looking at my car in the driveway right now. Driving in the direction that you want to go to. Now, here's an interesting thing. I started reading a book, and I like to think about, I always talk about how you drive your life. I am the driver of my life car. You are the driver of your life car. I think of my Destination Decluttered email mailing list as like a bus. Like, hey, this is what I do. If you want to come along for the ride, this is where we're going. If you're interested in that, you can sign up for it. But what's going to help you ease into this day? I know myself being excited to do something, looking forward. Are you looking ahead or are you looking forward to something? Know that there's a difference. I love kind of examining the words we use because the words we use make us feel feelings. And so I like to think of what that subtle difference between I'm looking ahead to all the things I have to do today. They're in, like if I was in my car, they would be through my windshield kind of down the road a bit. As I drive, they get I get closer to them. or technically they're closer to me, whatever, early. But looking ahead and looking forward are two different things. Technically they are, but in our American culture, looking forward to something, I'm looking forward to. So what are you looking forward to today? And if you don't have something, make something. Make something. Do something today. Put something on your calendar. Put something on your daily roadmap that you're looking forward to. You know what I'm looking forward to? I'll share this with you. My husband's in a band. My husband's a musician. And tonight he has a gig. It's this kind of invitation-only thing. Trust me, it's at an awesome, low-key place. But I'm looking forward to going to that. I don't look forward to waking up at 6 a.m. tomorrow after it, but I have that to look forward to. I try to, and maybe this will help you because this is what I do, and it changes how I feel during the day. I try to look forward to. I try to find something about whatever I'm doing to look forward to. I look forward to going to Target today. Actually, I picked up some things at Target yesterday. I was talking about doing my suburban errands this weekend. And one of the things, like right now, is I look forward to going out and doing some errands because one of the things I want to buy is some of that like protectant. This is me doing a little for the plastic things on our car because I'm looking and it looks, like the plastic's drying out. So I look forward to that. I look forward to coaching my clients today. I have a number of clients that I meet on Mondays, and I sincerely look forward to meeting with them as humans. What's been going on? It's been a few weeks. What's happening? I have a client today that I think today is her last session of working together. And she and I have worked together for almost a year, but she said, you know what? I feel good now. I feel like I can do this stuff. I'm going to take the summer off. So I look forward to seeing her and helping her and making sure she's got, all the tools in her toolkit to be sent off and being able to learn the things through coaching that she and I worked on. She worked on mostly. I just showed up and was like, hey, here you go. You can do it. I can help you. Here's the tool. I try to find something to look forward to. And man, feeling good. I look forward to the fact, or even right now, this morning I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do my TikTok live outside on the patio because it's supposed to be wicked hot where I am. Now, I'm outside of Philly. You may not have thought that because I used the word wicked. I am originally from Massachusetts. Oh, you can see the sun coming up on the little, I call this thing the Trilon. It's like a little, it's fire. It's going to be wicked hot this week. I look forward to, I love sitting outside on my patio. This whole weekend was delightful. I look forward to the excuse of staying inside and maybe working on stuff in where it's cooler inside. Maybe I'll putter around in the basement. I know there's a few things I want to tidy up there. So what are you looking forward to today? Looking forward, not just visually, but mentally looking forward. Notice I'm tapping my head here. It's almost like that, what is that? I'm always like EMF, DSMR, FYO. I don't know what, But what's in your head that lights up something in your heart? Ooh, that's how you know. That's kind of like a little spark. You know what I'm looking forward to? I'm not just looking ahead. I got to do this, I got to do that, and then I go here, and then I go there, and then I go this. Shh, be quiet, trucks. I'm trying to be on the TikTok. Trying to, going to do this, going to do that, going to do that. What are the things that have a little spark? And if they're not currently there, practice inventing the spark. Trust me, you know what it does? It makes the whole day just go by a whole frick easier. Even decluttering. If you're not looking forward to it, if you're dreading it even, how can we even just take the dread out, or daunting? Dread and daunting, two D words that people tend to think of, especially Monday morning if you're going to a job you don't like. I had been there. Decades, people, decades. Daunting. Decluttering feels daunting. Okay? What feels daunting about it? Let's flip it. What feels daunting and dreading today? How can you change that? You can change it, Sometimes you can't change the experience out there, but you can You can change how you react to it, how you decide to feel about it. I have decided I'm going to feel this way. Now, here's a phrase I use to remind me of that kind of connection. I like to call it the head, heart, hands connection, is I choose to believe that ... I choose to believe that all things are going to go well for me today. Try that out. Write it down. Play with it today. It's yours for free. Look, it's like something at the bottom of the cereal box. I choose to believe that good things are going to happen to me today. I choose to get excited about the things I don't even know to get excited about, because I like to be delighted. That delight word is something I'm using a lot. I've realized there's something about the word delight, and puts the groove in the heart, as I like to joke, because I'm a Gen Xer who likes music, loves music. And I look forward to the unexpected delights. And no, that's not a band name. I look forward to unexpected delights happening in my life. They have happened. Yesterday, as something as simple as I was driving to, here's my yesterday, and this is what I mean if you're looking for an example. Late last week, I was chatting with a friend. I dropped something that I didn't want anymore, clutter. Maybe this is the clutter tie-in. I had a pair of flip-flops. I bought them too small. I said I don't want these anymore because they're giving me a blister on my feet. I'm going to buy a bigger size. Does anybody I know want these? They're brand new, and they were like expensive flip-flops, you know? I used to think expensive flip-flops was like $20 because I used to wear the $4 ones for Woolworths. So I was like, check me out. I paid $20 for these. Not Skechers, whatever. Now, I'm a woman of an age who I wake up and I have plantar fasciitis on one thing, so I got to buy, it's almost like, yeah, these ones. I got to buy $60 flip-flops so I don't hobble around my house. So a friend of mine, I go to drop off these flip-flops. So she said, sure, yeah, that's my size. We had a wonderful conversation. She mentioned she had a free pass to go to this garden. I live in Pennsylvania. There's a garden you can tour. It's been on my list for forever because it's so close and I'm kind of curious about it. If it were a passion of mine, I can make those things happen. But this is like, oh, you know what? I've been wanting to check that place out. Free pass? Sure. Suddenly, me decluttering my one pair of flip-flops saved me $15 because $15 was the amount that it would cost to go into that garden. Then I decided that yesterday was going to be the day that I go to the garden because I got to return the pass to the library. I'm going to do that this morning on my walk. So I decided it's going to be tomorrow, and I go over there. And on the way there, I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm kind of hungry. And I don't want to go there and be hangry. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? Oh, I'm right by this grocery store there's a Whole Foods that has a little salad bar. And I like to get a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know. So I went and I got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. They were pretty much all pasta salads because I freaking love pasta salads. And as I'm walking towards the refrigerator cabinet to figure out what I want to drink, I hear a voice behind me. Would you like to try a new sample of our new LaCroix, darling, LaCroix, you know, whatever it is, fizzy water? Sure, I assumed they were going to give me like a little, paper cup of it. No, they handed me a nice frosty can. I said, oh my God, check me out. What an unexpected delight. Not only am I going on a beautiful day like this, I'm going to this garden, but for free, but I got a free drink. Awesome. Then I did that. Then I pull in, like, just notice, and I was delighted by these things. I was like, oh, thank you. And I was appreciative. And I was like, thank you, universe. And I was sincerely, oh man, check it out. This is cool. So do things today to encourage unexpected delights. Now, here's the funny thing. You can't expect them, but be open to them. And you know where this all started? I had a wonderful, wonderful walk around this garden yesterday. I am not a garden person. I mean, here, I don't know if you can see right here. See this? 100% fake. See this? 100% fake. Because I know myself. I know that I live a life where I'm not around to take care of my plants, and I feel bad if I don't take care of them. I have one plant. We have two plants. My husband has we have a Christmas cactus. Actually, it's a Thanksgiving cactus we found. And we also have this big plant that we've had for forever that we try to take good care of. But man, we travel so much, we don't. So what we've done is we've designed how our house is decorated in the stuff we buy to support the life we have. And the life we have is a lot of travel. And a lot of, oh my gosh, I'm so focused on my creativity that I kind of forget to water the plants. This is why we don't have children. This is why we no longer have a dog. He died and we said, you know what? We miss him, but man, it's safer right now in this stage of life to not get a dog. Yes, Amber is saying, I love unexpected delights. So how about this? You guys, today, be open to unexpected delights. Go down a different road. Say hi to somebody. Stop at a place you've wanted to stop. Do something different. Get out of your rut. And maybe some unexpected delights will happen. And here's the funny thing, because I feel like for whatever reason, because I am decluttering, all of my unexpected delights yesterday happened because of me saying, there's an item in my house I don't want anymore. What can I do with it? And to me, I was like, maybe a friend of mine might like these. And boom, boom, all this cool stuff happened. Okay? Now, I know I'm being a little bit life coachy, but you know what? I'm a life coach. I'm a decluttering life coach. But you know what I did is I also made room in my life. I took time out of my day to do something I wanted to do. I do that all the time. Even when I didn't have my act together and I was working full time, man, this is why I used to plan travel, because it's like if I was excited to go somewhere, I would do it. I would do the things that would make me go there. Some things that seemed bigger and out of reach, I hung back on, but I am making up for time. I am making up time for those things now, and I am crossing off some big bucket list items because I realized it's foolish to wait. What are you waiting for? Now, I don't say that like accusatorially. I say that with curiosity, okay? I say that with curiosity because I really want to freaking know, and not in a judgy way. Like, I'm trying to temper my like eagerness to find out with a slight frustration, only because, you guys, today is the youngest we will ever be. I don't know about you because I don't know how old you are. I'm going to be 58 this summer. I have fewer days ahead of me than I do behind me. I bet you do. You might too. And none of us know when that last day is going to be. So I don't know if I've got 5 days, 50 days, 500 days, 5,000 days. I mean, I could do the math. I don't want to do math. It's too early. We're all going to die. Hey, good morning. It's 7:18 in the morning and Beth's talking about death. I find death a motivator. I do, because you know what I don't want to happen? I don't want to be laying there on my deathbed going, shit. You know what I should have done when I was 58? And I didn't. I was too scared. I was too afraid. Don't tell it to the world on your deathbed someday. John Fay. Love that song. Do it now, so when you're laying down on your bed, you're like, okay, cool. You know what I did? I did a lot of freaking good stuff in my life. I felt good in my house because I decluttered it. I got rid of the stuff in my life, the people, the stuff, the experiences. I was able to remove them from my life. Didn't happen overnight, but I started. I did that. Honestly, I'll share with you. When I quit my fairly well-paying corporate job to become an entrepreneur, that was such a brave thing for me to do, but I was so freaking proud of myself. I had no idea how it would go, and boy, some wacky, expensive things happened afterwards, like having to pay so much for health insurance and blah, 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 part of the learning curve. But I broke up with my job in an airport. And to me, it was cool because airports are places where people go to go somewhere else. It was very, very, very metaphorical, you know? And I remember calling my husband saying, I did it. I did it. I started the ball rolling. And I said, I just want you to know that if for some reason I was down in Austin, Texas, I was flying to Philly, if this plane goes down, I just want you to know that I am more proud of myself than I've ever been. And I am going to, if this plane went down, I would be feeling good about the thing I started. I hadn't even started yet. But I had, because I made a decision and I shared it and I got the ball rolling. Now, luckily for me, for you, for my husband, for everybody, I did not die in that plane crash. Or maybe I did, and maybe I'm a ghost. Ooh. I would haunt you. What haunts you now that you haven't done yet? What's something you wanted to do back in the day that you still can do now, that you still want to do? This is funny because I think of things. I heard this idea recently about like when you plant seeds for things. Sometimes they take a while to grow, and this is why you need to be patient with the seeds you plant. I had a seed bloom the other day from a garden that I don't even tend to anymore. I used to write about retro road trips. I had this website called Retro Roadmap. I'm like, what the frick was it called? And somebody offered me a multi-page magazine interview and photo spread. I did it. I would still want to help people find the cool old places, but I was like, man, I would have been a heck of a lot more excited about this a few years ago, but sometimes it takes a while for these seeds to bloom. I feel like, seriously, sometimes I look at pictures of, here, this is the total Gen X thing, you know? I love this question. There we go. Yes. Don't shoulda, coulda, woulda. Yeah, don't shoulda all over yourself. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Have the most delightful day you can imagine. And notice that phrase, Luann. Have the most delightful day you can imagine. It only goes as far as you can imagine. When you're open to it, things you can't even imagine will happen. That's why I live in a cool house, married to a rock star. I have it decorated like the Monkey's Playhouse. Some of the things that are happening in my life now are seeds that were planted when I was like 9 years old. Catherine's getting your master's in psychology. Go for it, hon. You know what? Yeah. Have all the dogs, live within a short drive of the beach. Dogs and beach. Love it. Did it. Same thing. I remembered thinking, you know what? I want to get a dog. I want to live near the beach. I want to walk on the beach. I did them both. It was great. I would do it again. Yeah, Catherine's saying, we have planted grass seed 2 weeks ago. Took patience to see the growth. But I bet, here's the thing, Catherine. We are like snappy. We want it now. I want to lose this weight now. I want to get that result now. Patience makes you delight in when you just see a little smidge of green and then a little bigger smidge of green until it grows up to the grass you want. It's growing. So you delight every time you go and see the grass. I bet there's a little bit more green. Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Catherine's saying, lesson is, that's life. And it's patchy now, but progress. Yes. And I will say this. It's patchy, but the more you learn to plant the seeds in your head and cultivate them and water those dreams, and I don't want this to get too kind of abstract and whatever, but seriously, if there's something you want to do in your life, I like to take it back to practicality. I believe in dreams like nobody's business, but I also know that it doesn't happen. There's a balance between magic and what you do to make it happen. So what are you going to do? What's a smidgy widgerson? What's a comically simple thing you could do today? What's something that does not zing, activate your nervous system so much that you can do it and it doesn't feel like a big deal? What is something that you could do today that would get you closer to the life you want? One little thing. Okay? Now this is okay. So Catherine is saying, another Catherine spelled differently, in corporate field now, and I love my job. Awesome. But have come to find that I am not as valued as I should be. Ooh, interesting. I would get into that. I would know where you don't feel valued. Where specifically do you get that feeling of they do not value me? Maybe you're too good at your job and they don't realize how much you do because everything flows so well when you're there. Think of how it would be if you left. Also, seriously, mine your brain for this stuff. And if it's important for you to be valued by them, write this stuff down. Write this stuff down. Work on what's in your brain. When do you not feel valued? Now, the funny thing is I didn't want to be valued. I didn't want to not be valued. I did get frustrated when I had good ideas and people would ignore them to their detriment. I just wanted to keep my head low and just make my money and go home. Unfortunately, I kept on getting promoted, and I had to stop that. Because that was taking me where they wanted me to go. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to make some money and live my little life. But notice where you're feeling the lack. Write it down. Everybody. What don't you have in your life? Write it down and notice that the thing you're lacking is caused probably by wanting to feel a feeling. Do you need to feel valued at work? I don't know. I say, where do you feel valued elsewhere? Where else do you feel valued and appreciated? And where would you like to? Just good stuff to think about. Now, this is the life coachy part of me, but I also think about this like, I always bring it back to clutter because I know that, somebody's not looking for like a life coach, but you're looking for oh my God, I got to work on my clutter stuff. But the clutter is the same. Your house doesn't look like the way you want it. How do you want it to look? What do you want? Plant the seed in your own head. Water that. Write it down, people. I love this. Miss Lopez 67 says, good morning. Good morning. I made my grandson come over to help me. I cleaned and he took out the trash for me. Yes. Get help with your dreams. Get help. Miss Lopez 1967 wanted a house that had less trash in it. She got help. She got a grandson. Help yourself, but also know that you're not alone. That it's easier when you get help. Now, don't worry. This is not me sliding into a really sleazy way of saying coaching is help, but it is. Doing it with your two hands gets it done a certain amount of time. Having another set of hands gets it done twice as much. Yesterday, if you watched yesterday's TikTok live, we decluttered our front garden. My husband and I, because I knew if I did it, it would take me an hour, but with two of us, it would take a half an hour. Took a shorter amount of time because of help. How can you get help to help you get to where you want to go? Listen to yourself. Quiet down the backseat drivers, though. They're going to be like, I can't. Anytime you hear the word no in your head, pretend it's a little scared kid in the backseat of your car while you're driving it. No, you can't do that. It's going to cost too much money. They're going to say no. Blah, blah, blah. Nobody ever helps you. You're all alone. We're doomed. Remember that? Remember that Gulliver's Travels cartoon? With the guy, Glum probably was his name, the little tiny people. And it's funny because I'm thinking of Gulliver. I got to share this crossed wires in my own head because it happens. Is I'm picturing the cartoon of the Gulliver guy, but he starts to look like Fred from Scooby-Doo. I don't know. Sometimes we have crossed wires in our heads and we don't even realize it till we start articulating these things. It's kind of like when I'm coaching and people just start to talk about things, because in order to talk about something, you need to put the words in your head in order that makes sense to somebody else, makes sense to yourself and to somebody else. But until you see it on paper or speak it out loud, you may still be seeing it. You may not realize there's a misconnection there. There we go. Rena says, I'm lacking nature and I could make an effort to go exploring nearby parks. Yeah, I will share with you. The older I get, the more I see some of the advice that I see makes so much sense, because I took a hour-and-a-half walk around this wonderful garden yesterday, feeling the squishiness under my feet, being in the shade of the plants, smelling the plants, inhaling the chlorophyll, touching the different textures, looking at the different vistas. It fed my freaking soul. And I'm usually not a garden person. I like an urban area and a built environment just as the next person. But there is something about us as humans that we came from nature. So feeling that connection to nature, yeah, it will do. Rena, I highly recommend that to everybody. That's why I am outside right now, because the weather is such that I still can be outside and it's not too hot. Cool thing is the clouds are out a little bit now, so it's not even getting as hot as it's supposed to be, but you will feel so much better. And that's why I do what I do. Clutter coaching, declutter coaching, clutter coaching. Here's how to get more cluttered. You already know how to do that. Declutter coaching, that's a different thing. Decluttering coaching, life coaching is all about how you want to feel. And if you can't even articulate that now, I bet you can articulate how you don't want to feel, because you may be feeling it now. Exhausted, tired, overwhelmed, fearful, discouraged, undervalued. Write those words down. Write those words down, but then fold the paper, because those words are only half the story. That's your backseat driver. How would you rather feel? You'd rather feel the opposite of those. play a little game. Use a little wordle, little mind game. What's the opposite of each one of these crappy words that I feel? Okay, yeah. Shell says, I feel that way by the beach. Me too. Me too. I really feel like the beach with the tides going in and out brings us back to it. It kind of it's almost like a magnet to all of the liquids in your body. Start to breathe. You start to breathe in a different way. It calms me the frick down, and I'm not calmed down. It just really gets you into the zone. The salt air and it probably reminds us seriously about being in the womb. The salty environment of the womb where we heard our mother's heartbeat. I don't think your mom had two hearts. But that whoosh, the constant in and out, that lulling of the beach. I love it. You know? I love it. All right. Strong Silver Solstice is saying, we learned the hard way. DIY isn't always the way. No, it can be, but it doesn't have to be. While moving furniture, we had to call a mover. Yeah. My gosh. My husband and I, when we moved into this house, we moved up here like the Clampetts. We had so much stuff. We had so many van loads of random stuff that we brought in incrementally. Where we should have, it would have been so much easier in hindsight to just pay somebody to even just rent a truck. But we were afraid to spend money. We were money fearful, so we did it, and we probably spent more money on gas and more time doing that. So yeah, getting help with stuff gets you there quicker and easier. You know? And yes, the garden filled my soul. Good morning, Cynthia. Nice to see you. Yeah, we moved one large couch but couldn't move the other, and luckily a mover was readily available. Yes, we all do the things. Oh, excuse me. Oh, got to do some stretching this morning. Old person making sounds while I move my body. We all do the things that are easy for us to do. That's our comfort zone. I love it because me talking about comfort and stretching, I didn't mean to do that. It just happens. This is the universe giving me a nice little, you could talk about your comfort zone here. We all do the things that are easy for us. When we feel that something's going to be a little bit less easy, they call that on the outside of your comfort zone. I say this, I don't want to go outside of my comfort zone. I joke all the time. Why would I want to leave my comfort zone? It's comfortable there. There's a difference between leaving it, and here's how I look at it, and expanding it. Stretching my comfort zone so it's bigger. How about this? How can I expand my comfort zone so the things that were not comfortable become a little bit more comfortable? It's like stretching my muscles. So I have a client, actually no, I'm doing this TikTok live, then I have a little bit of an hour, then I have a client, and then my husband and I realized as we age, we need to stretch more. During COVID, we used to put on the TV and do yoga with Adrian. Now life is different, but we still want to do some stretches. So I said, I'll meet you in the living room at like 10 o'clock. Oh, hey, squirrel. And do some stretches. You stretch your muscles so you can be more flexible. You can do more things when you stretch, when you expand your capacity for doing things. So don't think of it as either in your comfort zone or outside of your comfort zone. Think of it as, here's how I like to think of it. Notice how I talked about COVID, because this is where my visual brain goes. I remember during COVID driving past and really seeing them on the internet, people going to restaurants where they had those like translucent igloos around you, a little bubble. I want you to think of your comfort zone as a wonderful clear bubble around you. It's flexible. It stretches. You can breathe. It's wonderful in your comfort zone, because then in your comfort zone, things are easy. But this bubble expands. You can stretch it. You can bend. You can stretch. You can kick, just like Sally O'Malley. You can expand your comfort zone so that the things that used to be not comfortable become comfortable. It's happened to me. I show up and do these TikTok lives. The first ones were not that comfortable. I felt weird and awkward, Repetition helps you expand your comfort zone, and then suddenly, instead of your bubble being this big, then it's this big. And then suddenly you can do things that you weren't doing before. You were asking for what you wanted. You were cleaning up. You were saying, hey, I won't tolerate this treatment anymore. Okay? Expand your comfort zone, you know? And, oh, hey, Annalisa. Busy at work? Want to say hello. Nice to see you. TikTok user 01 is asking what garden I visited. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get on this roll. Seriously, guys, this is why I am going to start to do a podcast, because my brain is saying, I think the people would like a little bit longer form, deeper content. I don't want to be superficial. I go deep, but it's good deep. Kind of wading into the deep end and realizing it's not as scary as you want. Game changer. What garden I visited Chanticleer in Wayne, PA. That's where I went to. And because we had the tickets to the place, we were supposed to go to Longwood Gardens on Friday. They rescheduled their thing till Thursday, so we're going to Longwood on Thursday. If you're from PA, we are lucky enough to where I live. There are some wonderful gardens you can tour around. And again, I'm not even a garden person, but that's where I'm going. Yes. Yeah, expand your comfort zone. And yes, road trip. Strong Silver Soul Sister, road trip analogy, 100%. That's when I realized, seriously, that's why I'm a coach today. This is why. I'm trying to make a point and all the trucks are going by. Come on, people. Take two. I used to plan kick-ass road trips. I used to plan kick-ass travels. I still do. However, I remember once being like, this is kind of goofy. I can plan a road trip like nobody's business, but I cannot plan my life out of a box. Oh, sure, I have certain things that I'm really psyched about. And then I said, okay, well, and then my brain said, not my fearful backseat driver. They were like, yeah, well, why don't you just blah, blah, blah? Why don't you just plan your life like a road trip? And I was like, actually, no, it was more like, why don't I plan my life like a road trip? And then my soul, my co-pilot, God, the universe, source, my, whatever, said, yeah, why don't you? What would you do if you were planning a road trip, and what's the parallel you could draw in your life? Ba-ba-ba-ba. It was an aha, Lake Dawn's a Marblehead moment. It took me a while, but I realized the parallels, so good. So good, because it starts with having a destination you're excited to get to. I want to drive from here to Key West on Route 1. I want to drive from Chicago to LA, only over 2,000 miles along the way. I want to go to Disney. I want to visit Hawaii, a destination that makes you go, yes, I want to do that. Okay, you've got the destination, then you get the little dotted line between where you are now and there. I want my house to look this way. I want to feel a certain way. That's really what travel is, too. You want to feel alive, warm, relaxed. It's because you want to feel a feeling. Okay? Uh-huh. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I got the thumbs up from the garden people. Yep. Would you ever do a video about how to plan a real road trip? Windy Rose, I could, but I can tell you right now, it's wicked easy. It's wicked easy, and notice this, everybody. Here's a fun thing, because I like to make things fun. I will explain how to plan a real road trip, and I want you to notice the parallels between decluttering your home. I will point them out. Okay, I will notice the parallels. In both instances, it starts with you wanting to go to a certain destination. Destination decluttered, destination, let's use, I don't know, where's a good one? A beach. Let's go to the beach because I want the destination. Okay, so road trip, like coaching is, or what do we call it? Decluttering is on one hand, real road trip on the other. So you pick out a destination. You pick a destination you're excited to get to that has a certain zing in your heart, a little spark that makes you go, yes, I want that. If you don't have the zing in your heart for decluttering, how can you make it zingy? How do you want your home to look? Dream about that. Write that stuff down. Write down the places you want to go to. Why do you want to go to that place that you're driving to, the beach? Why do you want to go to the beach? Because I feel so good. Remember we were talking about connecting up with nature? I feel good near the shore. The shore. Oh my God, you can tell I live in Philly and we're next to New Jersey. I'm from Massachusetts and lived in Delaware. I call it the beach. But I feel good at the beach. I feel peaceful at the ocean. I feel reinvigorated. I feel so good at the beach. How can you feel peaceful and invigorated and relaxed in your home? Pick a destination that makes you feel good. Then see where you are here and what's between you and that. Probably a bunch of miles on the road trip. Probably a bunch of stuff between here and decluttered. Stuff is in your way, on your way to decluttered. What can you do today to get there? Well, the cool thing is if you were doing a true road trip, you would make a map. You would write down the places you needed to go drive through before you got to the beach. Well, first we got to go through Westchester, and then we're going to be in Wilmington, and then we're going to be in Dover, and then Smyrna before that. Oh, we might make a pit stop and have some food there, and maybe we want to take a detour and go to Fenwick, and that type of thing. I'm pretending like I'm driving mentally, but you're saying, okay, in order to get to Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, here from Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, you pop two things in the map, where I am and where I want to be, and a map appears. Same thing with decluttering. I'm here and I want to be on my house to be decluttered. What are the things that I need to do in order to get there? And you write them down. And then what you do is you break it down. What if I said instead of driving to Rehoboth, I wanted to drive to Key West? That's a longer journey. Okay, so I'm going to need to do some things and then rest and then eat and then have fun on the way, and I'm going to lather, rinse, repeat. Every single day on a road trip should be the same. Waking up with energy, knowing where you're headed, being flexible about how you get there, but having a certain thing, saying, yes, by a certain time I want to be here. You can take, and this is the other road trip thing, a road trip is totally up to you. You can decide how long it takes. You can totally enjoy the ride like nobody's business, but also remember that the longer it takes, you do get closer to that destination. You do start to experience the feeling of it. But also the days that you stop doing it, you're just delaying having it being done, being there. Oh, I spent all my time driving here and I'm finally here and I'm 70 years old? So not that there's anything wrong with 70s, but the sooner you start, the sooner you're just living in the destination. You're spending more time at the beach. If you spend all the time getting there, you maybe have a few hours. Okay. Okay, cool. Excited about your podcast. Thank you. Okay. Excited about your podcast. And I will do that. I promise I will. I'm going away this weekend. See, notice how I'm making a plan. That's something I'm excited to do and I want to share it with you. But when I get back from that, because I've only got today, I already got today mapped out. But that's a new destination. But part of me expanding the things I'm comfortable with and want to share my coaching. Okay? And I love it that Longwood is your happy place. Yeah. Where's your happy place? How do you feel when you are in your happy place? Write that stuff down. You can get that feeling other places too. You can get that stuff in your house. Somebody's walking by. Being quiet. All right? Yeah, the road trip analogy. Rena, I have ADHD in my family. And here's the thing I want to say too is, notice how I talked about the road trip and where you want to go to. Even those of us who have road tripped all our lives, there are still places that we have not allowed ourselves to go. And for me, I will only speak for myself. It was fear of spending large amounts of money. Well, the crazy thing is, I bought a freaking house. We spend large amounts of money all the time on things that we never even use. God willing, health insurance, we spend more than we will ever get, but it feels good to spend the money on it. We spend money on our mortgage. We spend money on a lot of stuff. Why not spend money on stuff that makes you feel good? You know what feels good to me is being able to say to you, check me out. I did 2 really huge bucket list items, travel-wise, in the past few weeks. We went to Hawaii, and we rented an adorable little cottage on Cape Cod for a few days. 2 things I've wanted to do for years. I will share with you, the wonderful thing is that I have the memories of those things for the rest of my life. So the money we spent on that isn't just spent in those weeks. It was an investment in that good feeling of, look at what I did. I did what I wanted to do. I invested on me, I invested in myself, not showing up on my deathbed with regrets. Damn, we should have gone to Hawaii. What if this is me. I think death can be a motivator, because what if you have less time than you think you do? Okay? And I know notice how I kind of got off a detour because I'm seeing Wendy Rose's comment about life, like planning a road trip. You get a destination. It can be this easy. It is this easy. You get a destination, you start, and you do something every day to drive forward to it. You pick a milestone. You know what? My house is going to look better. Like, I will feel good about my cross-country road trip if today we get from here to Harrisburg. I live in Eastern PA. Oh, you know what would be even better? You know what? Why don't we start earlier? And I feel good, so let's drive and let's get to Pittsburgh. I would love to hang out in Pittsburgh today. Pittsburgh's going to be a good destination. I will be proud of what I did today. Oh, you know what? I don't have that much time or energy, so therefore I am going to only say that we're going to get from here to Lancaster. That's fine. I'm moving forward incrementally, different days. Every day is not going to be the same. We are not robots. We are not robots. So every day, seriously, people, 5 minutes of decluttering makes a difference. 5 minutes of sitting down with yourself and saying, what do I want, and writing it down. These are the things. Good morning, good morning, good morning. There we go. Just got back from Hawaii, 40th anniversary. Love it. Maybe we passed each other on the beach. And here's the funny thing. We often will we give ourselves permission to do things and spend money on pretty much, I want to say, like invented holidays. I do it myself. Well, you're going to spend money on that guitar? Consider it your birthday present. You know what? Let's say this was for our anniversary. You know what? That'll be your Christmas gift. Why not just give yourself permission to do it regardless of the day of the year or the time of your life? The sooner you do the things that you want to do, the more you get to live as a person who has accomplished what they want to accomplish, and you get to live in those accomplishments. As opposed to saying, oh man, I always wanted to do that, now that place is not there anymore. I used to write about road trips of going to old-timey places. I missed going to the second to last legit Howard Johnson's restaurant, 2 of them, by like months. I'm going to go there someday. Why do we say someday? Why don't we say today? Why don't we say Thursday? Why don't we say Monday, Wednesday, happy days, Thursday, Friday, happy days? That's funny. I skipped over Tuesday, and that's, as people know, because I was talking about it on the Destination Decluttered mailing list about how Happy Days was on Tuesday where I lived. But I digress. But notice the parallels on a road trip. Every time you are moving forward towards something you want, think, what would I do if I was behind the wheel of my car? If I ran out of energy, I would say, okay, I'm going to stop for today and I'm going to fill up my tank. If I got lost, I would ask for directions. If I hit a dead end, I would back my car up and start driving on another road. If I got tired, I would pull over and check into that cute little Route 66 motel and get some sleep, so the next morning I would feel like I had energy in my tank so I could continue the journey. I would chunk it down into little doable steps, and I would enjoy the drive. I would be flexible enough with when I get there and how I get there to, if something really cool was happening, I would say, I'm going to postpone my arrival by a few hours by taking those few hours and doing this thing that only happens once in a lifetime. My husband and I did that. We were traveling. I was traveling for work. I went to an organizational seminar, and on the way home, there was an eclipse. I said, man, I want to see that eclipse. So what did I do? I delayed our arrival home on our flight by not taking a direct flight, by having a layover in, ironically, Austin, Texas, the place of magic happening, for me anyway. And we were able to see we made the plan to see the eclipse because we delayed getting home. What are the things that you want to do on your way to your deathbed? Notice I weave that in there because one of the destinations we all have, and this is to kind of give you this loving kick in the pants. To be like, why am I delaying living the life I want to live? Why am I postponing getting my act together as far as my clutter? But listen for the answer. Write that down, because that is the thought in your head that's stopping you. And the one destination you and I are all driving towards, and none of us know when we're going to get there, is death. It seems so abstract, but it happens. So what do you want to do before you die? Also, how about this? If you die, do you want somebody else having to go through all your stuff? I think the answer is no. Maybe it is. Maybe you'll say, you know what? Fine, I'm going to live like this, and then that somebody else can clean up my house. That's fine. If that's your choice, have at it. But if you don't want to live like you're living now, clutter-wise, and you don't want to leave it to somebody else, if you want to enjoy your life, and it's part of enjoying your life, feeling better is living in a decluttered home. This is how I coach, but this is also how I coach with decluttering. I think that because this was such an early TikTok, and a lot of people were just getting up, and there wasn't a lot of kind of stuff, this allows me to go deeper. But this is where the magic happens, is popping the hood. I'm looking at my car in the driveway. If I went to start my car and it wasn't starting, I would check. Why am I not moving? Oh, you know why? I have no gas in my tank. All right. Oh, you know what? Sounds weird under the engine. There's something under there. Now, I could pretend that there's something not going right. There's a tick-tick-ticky noise or whatever it is, and I could drive forward, but I know there's something going on underneath that's making it me not feel good about this. In your car, you would pull over, and if you knew about engines, you might open up the hood and say, oh, here, I can diagnose the problem. I need a new carburetor. I don't know. See, this is where my road trip, but this is the great thing. I am not an engine person. So if something was happening under the hood that I didn't know about, I would call an expert. I would bring my car to the shop and say, it's making this noise, and I don't want to damage it any further by driving forward. Somebody who knows what they're doing would pop the hood, and could immediately see what's going on. Oh, you know what? You have some crossed wires here. This is the analogy I use with your brain because I'm a coach. I'm the person that when you're ready to pop the hood, and you describe to me what's going on, I can see where the wires are crossed. I can see where there's a disconnect. I can help you correct what's underneath. So then you slam the hood and you say, okay, how about now? Oh, it sounds better. Okay, drive for a while, see how it goes. Meet me next week, and we'll do the same thing over and over again. That's what coaching really is like. And I do one-on-one coaching. I always kind of forget to, because I always get so into this. But this is what coaching is like with me. I do a 10-week or 10-session program, paid coaching, one-on-one on Zoom, kind of like this, except instead of talking to my phone, I'm talking to my computer. And the neat thing is you can live anywhere in the world you want. But if you think, here's just something to think about. You don't even have to tell me. Tell yourself before you tell me. If coaching sounds like a good idea to you, what's stopping you? What's stopping you from doing the things you want to do? Shyness, for example, as Morrissey and the Smiths would say, shyness is nice, but shyness can stop you from doing all the things in life you want to, or you'd like to. Okay? I say the same thing. There we go. I love this. Our apartment complex is having a garage sale, says K-pop drama love. Oh, fun. I realized I need to donate what I don't sell. Yes. If at first you don't succeed, try again. If you say, I want to get money for it, but if I don't, I'm going to donate it, wonderful idea. Okay. I'm trying to sell whatever I can because it will be too hard for my daughter to do if I pass. Yes, but you know what the thing is? Notice the different route you can take to get removing the things from your life. Okay. There are different roads you can take. You can take the exit for donation. You can take the exit for selling stuff. Selling stuff takes longer to get to emptying your house because you hang on to the things longer until you sell it. This is when I always have to remind my clients, what is your destination? Is your destination truly about making the money? Are you selling this because you are in the business of making money from your stuff? Or is your destination getting this stuff out of your house as easily and as quickly as possible so you can live in a decluttered home? Okay, there we go. I love it. Abbott Elementary just now wrote down and mapped, specifics. This is where you get specifics of what to do in the bedroom, and it is very helpful. Taking 5 minutes. Decluttering is not always moving the stuff. It's not always the driving. There's strategy behind it. Making a map before you do it. Here's a hack. I don't know, Abbott Elementary, maybe try this. Everybody do this. I did this the other day when I thought it was going to be wicked hot, so I was going to do some stuff in the basement. Then it ended up not being as hot as I thought, so I was able to get outside and do some stuff outside, including just hanging around on the patio. Because why be in the basement when you could be on the patio? So what I did was I went down there to my basement, kind of like the guy on Twin Peaks. And I held my phone up and I recorded me making a list, checking it twice. All right, you know what we need to do? We need to break down those boxes, those Amazon boxes, and get them out for recycling. I have to work on my table of stuff that I don't know what's there. Cliff needs to, we need to move that big heavy thing back towards the wall. I am going to move those shelves over here and put the extra paint on them. I texted that into my phone, into like a notes app. I had the idea and my phone wrote it for me because it was quicker and easier for me to do that than going down and writing it myself. Then I can just look at my phone. When I go down there, I already made a list of what needs to get done. And having that list is the roadmap of going from my cellar looking like it does now to my cellar looking the way I want it to. Okay? That is times. Yes, carpe diem. There we go. There we go. Thank you, everybody. Biggest thought. What are my kids going to do with it all? Yeah, if you don't do it for yourself, do it for your kids. Okay? They might put it all in a dumpster, but they're still going to have the time to do it. You know? I have let my mother off the hook. I said, Ma, I'm a professional. I will put all your stuff happily. I'm not going to put it in a dumpster. I will take care of it. But I can help you. Part of my coaching is helping you figure out what to do with your stuff so your kids don't have to figure out what to do with your stuff. Okay? There we go. Hoping to build a house. Yep. Realize death has never been a motivator for me, says Deborah J. Oh, interesting. See, to me, I don't want to be on my deathbed because I have regretted stuff in my life. Maybe you've never regretted everything. I've looked in the rearview mirror and said, I really should have not done that thing. Or I really should have done that thing and I didn't. That's why it was a bold move for me to talk to my husband back in 98, see a guy in the lobby of the El Rey Theater in Los Angeles, California, be like, oh, hey, you were in that band, right? You guys sounded good. Boom, boom. 26 years later, look where I am. I would have regretted that. I have learned that I don't like the feeling of regret. I like the feeling of accomplishment, of doing the thing that I was a little bit afraid to, but it might open up my life, Okay. Most of the stuff you're selling are antiques and vintage. I'm selling because I need the money. Okay. So this is K-pop drama love. I get it. I surround myself with antiques and vintage things. So maybe the, what you don't sell, you donate. What find different ways to sell them. There are different ways to get to where you want to go. Everybody's is different, but the framework is the same. How do you want your home to look, feel, and function? Feel good. And then write down the stuff that you can do to get there. And when you get stuck, when you say, I don't know what to do here, that's when you get help. That's when you would, if you were on a real road trip, you would call AAA. You would call somebody who knew what they were doing. You would pull out your map. You would see where you are. And you would also walk around I got a flat tire. Oh, I don't know why I'm not moving forward. Oh, it's because there's no gas in my tank. I don't know where I'm going. I'm afraid to drive on that long road because it looks daunting. I'm afraid I'm never going to get there. I'm afraid I can't do that. I have fear that I can't do it. Let me reassure you. You can do this. This is why we start with clutter. Clutter is just stuff. Some things in life coaching are bigger, relationships and careers and stuff. I like to start with the easy stuff because then you learn the framework. You can deal with your stuff. And when you learn how to deal with your stuff and when you learn the skill of getting stuff out of your life that you don't want and feeling the feelings you want to feel, you can use this framework, this process that I teach you from the decluttering in every other area of your life. That's why yesterday and this whole weekend, I had a weekend filled with delight. Because I said, I'm going to do this. No, you know what? I'm going to do this. This feels better. This feels better. And I did the things I wanted to do and I got the things done I had to do. And all of it felt good. All of it felt good. Okay? Now, I get a minute. Okay? Okay. So here we go. K-pop. Notice you'll do the things, everybody does the things that are easy until you hit fear, and fear can stop you. So, I've hit the fear part, that I can't get all of it gone. I fear that I can't get all of it gone. You can. It's just a matter of being afraid if all of it's going to sell. Catbird singing in the dead of night. I know. I'll be done soon. Okay? The fear is what stops you. But I want to say, you know what? The opposite of fear is love. Love yourself to figure out what you can figure out, and the stuff you can't figure out, the stuff you're stuck with, get help. If it's not me as a coach, maybe it's this bird here inspiring you to get outside and go around. Do the things you know how to do. Learn the things you don't know how to do to get you to where you want to go. Okay, yes. And Catherine says it's very difficult to make decisions that come with a parent passing. Of course, because feelings are part of this. Whoa, 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 feelings. All right? Now, I love it. So me says, Beth says, I think Ellen says, loving the early AM. Notice how I am a little bit more awake. An hour has passed. I've been on this TikTok live for an hour. The caffeine has kicked in a little bit. The sun is shining in the sky. I'm going to go for a walk. Then I'm going to do some coaching. Then, what else do I have? I have a thing to do. You know what I'm going to do? I have a coupon on one of my credit cards. I'm going to go use that coupon on my credit card today. Okay? What are you going to do today that you look forward to? I know, and even TikTok is saying get off of the computer and into your life. There we go. All right? So, there we go. K-pop drama. Let me just offer this. Your slowness is medical. Maybe it's physical, but you can decide things in your head. Okay? I have to scoop, but tomorrow I'm doing a TikTok live. The next 4 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm doing TikTok lives. Then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I'm off the grid. I'm doing some wicked fun stuff with my sister. So check the videos that are posted are on the top of my thing to find out when my one is tomorrow, because frankly, I can't remember when I scheduled it. Sign up for coaching with me, one-on-one, paid coaching. If you need my help, I'm here for you. I am here for you. You can do this. DestinationDecluttered.com. That's how you do it. Okay? I gotta go. Okay. See? Afraid that if I start doing things that I make decisions I don't want to make. Okay. What are you fearful? What will happen if you don't make those decisions? You know? But notice everybody. Notice fear. But I want to leave you with love. Aren't they the cutest? All you need is love and some help, okay? I gotta go. Bye. I can never shut this off. It's kind of funny. There we go. Bye.